Welcome, ladies of Resilient Grace. My name is Gabrielle. For those of you who do not know me or haven't had a chance to connect with me, I am inward bound. So, I've just come out of a little ritual space, as you can see. That was mainly just to clear the energy, clear myself, call all of you witness here with me today for this collaboration that we've decided to do between myself, Inward Bound, and Resilient Grace. So the purpose of it was, it's my cat, wants to be involved. The purpose of it really was to introduce an aspect of spirituality to Resilient Grace, because we believe that this is one area that we haven't placed much emphasis on as yet, and we hope that you enjoy what we have in store for you today. So, this initially was supposed to be an article, as you may have seen in the calendar for October. However, I didn't really feel as if I can connect with you guys the way that I would want to in an article. The article initially was supposed to be called Sunset of the Year, and it was to remind our beautiful sisters of how important it is to honor your quiet space, how important it is for rest and relaxation, and we described it as a generally feminine time. So, can you feel it, ladies? Can you feel it? The call, the need to relax, to go within, for peace, for stillness. I can feel it. I can feel it. For me, I'm super excited because this time of the year is my favorite time of the year. I must say that it never used to be. However, as I grew more conscious and aware of how to use this time to our benefit, well, I just fell more and more in love with it. So what do we mean by a feminine time? We speak about feminine energy in relation to masculine energy. And it has nothing to do with whether you're biologically female or biologically male. It's the polarity that exists in every single one of us and in everything in the universe, in creation. So everything that has a polarity, that's how we define our duality here on earth. We sort of label things as this or that, up and down, masculine and feminine, good and evil. It's that same ratio, generally, yin and yang, that we speak about when we talk about masculine and feminine energies. This time, generally, is a time of the feminine, a time for rest, a time for relaxation. Not that that's all that the feminine energy is about. However, in our society, masculine energy has the majority of time, the majority of importance, and we see that every day with, everyone waking up to 6 a.m. to take a shower, to go on your commute, to head to your 9 to 5, your 8 to 4, and a lot of people do this without any passion or any deep connection with what they're doing. And our society pushes productivity over anything else, and it's a male-driven culture, and it's been that way for quite a while. However, as you all would have noticed, the feminine energy is on the rise, and we are all honoring things like creativity, like living your purpose, like being extremely passionate about something and birthing it into reality, rather than staying in a job that you hate for the sake of making money. That's just one example of today's society and the imbalance that's there. So why is this time a feminine time? We're coming out of the summer, the sun, the time of action and light. Oh, and just happiness, everything that summer can bring. And it is a very masculine time. It's ruled by the sun, after all. However, since the fall equinox, the seasons have changed, and maybe you can sense the change too. So we can touch a little bit on the wheel of the year. I'm not going to go into it. It's just to give you an idea of the way that the energy flows cyclically. Okay, and being cyclical is a very feminine thing as well. The moon is very cyclical. Our periods are very cyclical, There's a cow somewhere. This is so strange. And I apologize today of all days while I'm trying to do this. So generally, in modern day, we begin the year with New Year's. As you know, January 1st, everyone sort of makes their New Year's resolution. They believe they set their goals and they want to just go off the bat January 1st into action and accomplishing everything that they would want for that year to come. However, in the wheel of the year is really something that you see in a lot of older traditions, older cultures, older religions. We begin the year with Imbolc. And what is Imbolc? Imbolc is generally the halfway point between the winter solstice and spring. It's the first light that we really see for the year. I'm just clearing the energy from distractions with that cow and all of these things. We move on to the 21st of March, which is generally the spring equinox. It's also known as Ostara or Easter, spring where everything comes into bloom. And we really do feel that urgency, that need to sort of get down to business, We're in the midst and we have the energy now to go for our goals and take it, just head on. On Beltane, which is May the 1st, it's sort of an in-between point between summer and Ostara. And then we have Letha, which is the summer solstice, which goes into Lammas, which is on August 1st, which is also known as the first harvest. After that comes Mabon, which is also known as the autumn or fall equinox, and it just passed us on the 23rd of September. It's generally accepted as the 21st of September. The exact equinox is going to be the point where the sun passes over the equator. So this year it was the 23rd of September. After Mabon, still in the wheel of the year, we go into Samhain, which everyone more knows as Halloween. After that, it's Yule. It's on the 21st of December, and actually, it is technically Christmas. However, again, it changes each year, and Christmas is just the set date that makes it easier to recognize each year. And after we have Yule, it goes all the way back to Imbolc again. We feel this in our bones, whether you realize it or not, because our nature is a feminine one. We are governed by our cyclical nature. So when we think about the fall equinox that passed, for me it was a very potent time. It really was. And an equinox is it marks the point where we have an equal amount of light and an equal amount of dark on that day. So, in the northern hemisphere, we would have had the fall equinox, and in the southern hemisphere, they would be celebrating the spring. However, us here in the Caribbean, very close to the equator, we sort of have this balance going on all the time. For example, at spring equinox, we see our pui trees coming into bloom, and I've noticed again on fall equinox, pui trees, they come into bloom once more. To me, it's very beautiful that we are in the middle and we bloom twice. Just looking at this one tree, we bloom twice while one part of the world is dying, going into darkness, and the other side is coming into light. We sort of have that middle ground all the time. But we do feel the changes of the wheel, the changes of the season. It's something that's so internal and so ancient that it's in our bones and our blood. And the best thing that we can do is learn how to work with it, how to honor it, and how to use it for our benefit. At the equinox, again, it's a point of where the amount of daylight is equal to the amount of night. And to me, that really means that even in ourselves, we need to honor both the light and the dark. And that at that point, it's so equal that it creates a portal. It does create a portal. We're not going to get too into it. But it's very important to know that our dark is not something to be afraid of. What people consider darkness, or things that they don't want to face about themselves, or the things that they don't like about themselves, it's a part of yourself. It's beautiful, just like you, and just like the qualities that you consider your lighter, easy to love sort of qualities. At the time of Mabon and at the time of fall, going into the winter as we are right now, it's a time of taking stock, generally, of all our accomplishments, everything that we've sowed for the year, everything that we've reaped for the year. And also, it's a time of grieving, even, for the things that we've put our energy into, and the seeds that really didn't bear any fruit, But our time was there, our effort was spent, and that's a beautiful thing. Whether it came into fruition or not, maybe we had more lessons to learn, or maybe it just wasn't the perfect timing, It's really important that we honor our accomplishments, but also to be grateful for our losses. So, sunset of the year, beginning at the fall equinox, there are so many cultures and there are so many celebrations that happen at this time of the year, all in honoring this quiet time, this time of darkness, this time of even death. Death is not in the physical death, but death of cycles, death of things that has held us back, but has also taught us valuable lessons. It's a time of release, where we go inside ourselves and we give thanks for the lessons, and we give thanks for the people and the things that we've had in our lives, and we give thanks for the challenges and the issues and the blocks that may have frustrated us, that may have felt like we're not being supported. It's a time of looking into ourselves and seeing where those blocks came from. What inside of us is creating those blocks? Because as within, so without. Yes? What does that mean? You hear people talking about the law of attraction all the time. I don't really know if they understand it generally. Some of them do, but the law of attraction is really like the law of resonance. Because we have to resonate with that thing. We have to resonate with our desires in order to manifest it into our reality. And we're manifesting all the time. You don't need to learn a special skill. It's not a particular trait. It's not, anything like that. Manifestation is how our reality exists. And it's going on all the time. And you create, definitely, your reality around you based on your inner state, your inner vibration. There are certain things that resonate or vibrate, I should say, at a higher frequency, and those at a lower frequency. So there are very high vibrational emotions such as love, bliss, passion, even sexual energy. These sort of things in a sacred way are of very high vibration. But then you have other emotions such as guilt or fear, anger, resentment, jealousy, not being enough, feeling like you don't deserve good things to happen to you. All of these things, they translate into other things, like anxiety, depression, and all these things keep us at a lower vibration. However, it means that we can change our vibration. With work, yes, but it's the best thing that we can do for ourselves. And how do we change our vibration? I know everyone here would have somehow heard of your chakras, the 7 chakras. You would have heard of your aura. Chakras are just wheels of energy. There are 7 main chakras in the body running up the spine. They all govern a set. Whether it's spiritual, physical, mental, emotional. These emotions that we spoke about before, the lower vibrational emotions such as fear, for example, fear blocks your root chakra. We can consciously get to know our chakras, examine the states of them, and consciously use methods to clear them. In a very simplistic sense, when all your chakras are clear, that's when you reach this pinnacle of enlightenment. We all have our imbalances. We all have our lessons that we have chosen to come here on earth to learn and grow from. But it's really important that we practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is similar to meditation in a way. It involves paying attention generally to your body and becoming aware of what is there, and not just your physical body, your emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. Becoming aware of what exists there, right? Because unless you've made a conscious effort to be clearing your energy all the time, every trauma or everything that you would have experienced since childhood would be stuck there. And when it becomes stuck there, we repeat it. It's sort of like, a shower head where all these water droplets are coming down, but then if one or a couple gets stuck with, calcification or whatever it is, you can see the difference in the flow, and it's never going to flow the way that it was meant to flow. And that's exactly what chakra blocks in your system looks like, but in an energetic way. So, from the fall equinox, we head into winter. And you know what winter looks like. Everything dies in the winter, except it's beautiful, yeah? We see animals going into hibernation. The place becomes cold and the nights become longer. Similarly, this is where we go inward, into the depths of our subconscious, of our spirit, of our emotions. This is where we take stock. This is where we can feel everything that happened throughout the year. If you can think back to January 1st, 2019, You can think about it now and see yourself. You would have made your goals, you would have had your idea of what the year was going to look like. Try to create and sustain good habits. You would have planted your seeds and you would have worked and tended to your seeds. You would have had adversity. You would have had challenges. You would have had to fight for those seeds. In a time of spring and summer where it's so full of life and action, things may happen to us and we may have never allowed ourselves the time and the space to feel into it. I know for me, there's so many things that happened this year. It's been such a year. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, because everyone I know has experienced some type of loss this year. It's been a difficult year for many, and it's been a great year for many as well. But even in a year where it's difficult, where there are the most challenges, there's the room for most growth. Now is the time to sit with yourself, feel into what exists inside yourself and your body, because your body would never lie to you, and your body knows the truth. It does. Your subconscious knows the truth about everything. It also runs the show. And it's scary. It was scary to me how much your subconscious mind controls, because I guess I'm a bit of a control freak, but me and my conscious mind and all I thought that I knew, I didn't have the control to create the life that I wanted to, and I didn't understand why life looked the way that it did for me at one point in time. When I just started on this path and I started digging into spirituality and the esoteric and metaphysical nature and astrology and tarot and everything, I was just fascinated by the fact that we had no control generally, because the subconscious mind is so powerful. Our conscious mind is only 10% of our brain. So what became important to me was, how do we now streamline that subconscious mind for it to serve us in a way that we can benefit from, not just create things that make us feel like we're victims. I didn't want to feel like a victim anymore. I was tired of the same old stories over and over and over again. I wanted a different story, and I'm sure all of you can relate. This is what we do. This is what we do. We have our practices. We get to know our subconscious. We rewire our subconscious from the core wounds, from the hurt, from the illusion, from the belief systems, from everything that we've learned is not us, or is not the truth, or that we don't identify with anymore. Maybe we did at some point in time. So it became my mission to clear that. How do we clear it in order to create the best reality for not just myself, but for my family and for humanity? But we wouldn't go into that today. This is the first time doing a video with you guys, so I really want you guys to excuse any error or imperfection that exists in the video. And we really would love for you ladies to let us know how you felt about it. If it's something you'd like to get more involved in. If you have topics that you'd like to hear about. Because I didn't want to go into the depths of everything today. There may be some of you ladies that aren't interested in this type of work, and that's perfectly fine. We all have our unique paths to follow. And it's quite alright. Whether you would agree or disagree with what I'm saying, or whether it's something that you wouldn't be interested in, that's alright too. But I do hope that the information that I could provide would nourish your soul and help on your spiritual journey. We're going to go into a little meditation. I would say it's a little exercise. So I'd like for you guys, you ladies, I'm so sorry that I keep saying you guys. It's just how I speak, and it's something that I'm working on. To take a few deep breaths. When you're taking your deep breaths, I'd like for you to inhale with your nose for a count of 3, and exhale also with your nose for a count of 4. So just take a deep breath. In for 3, out for 4. You want to do this for about 5-6 times until you clear your mind a bit. So you can focus your energy at the base of your spine. Focus your seeing, your feeling, your sensing on the base of your spine. We all have different ways that we experience meditation. I feel, among others, what I mostly feel. A lot of you may see, a lot of you could maybe smell, some people can hear, some people taste, some people just have knowings. They're all different gifts that we all have. Some are stronger developed in us. We'll all have an area that we most identify with, a sense that we most identify with, or a clair, is that what it's called, that we most identify with. So imagine, if you can, a red ball of light just glowing at the base of your spine. Imagine that every time you inhale, you're drawing in this red energy, and when you exhale, the ball of light just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. See if you can notice the feelings that arise. You may feel some tingling. You may feel some warmth. You may not feel anything right now, and that's okay. So imagine that red light at the base of your spine starts dropping into whatever you're sitting on right now, like a cord. Imagine that gravity is acting so strongly on this ball of light. It's just pulling it to the center of the earth. So imagine that light breaking into the dirt beneath you, beneath your chair or your bed on the ground. Imagine it's just penetrating and going deeper, deeper into the soil. See if you can imagine what the soil looks like, what it smells like. What color is it? Maybe it's rich, dark, deep brown. Maybe it's moist. Anyway, the light is just falling deeper and deeper into the earth. Imagine it's reached so deep into the earth that you reach reservoirs of water, deeper still, until you reach the crystals buried deep within the earth. Deeper still, until you reach the magma and the lava, all at the core of you, deeper still. Now imagine that you've reached the center of our beautiful earth. Imagine that you can envision a super giant crystal at the center. You can picture the crystal as any color you like. It can be pink, it can be gold, it can be white, it can be shimmering. I like to picture a deep blood ruby red color. Now imagine that crystal just softens enough to allow your red cord to sink deep into the crystal with so much ease. It just drops into the crystal at the center of the earth. And imagine now that it re-solidifies, holding that cord in place always. Now imagine that you can breathe from the center of that crystal. Imagine that light has the ability to pull air up. And you can breathe from all the way down at the center of the earth, pulling it all the way up into the base of your spine, all the way up the cord of light, back up through the magma, back up through the crystals. Inhale deeply, pulling that love, pulling that support, pulling that stability from the center of the earth, up, back through the water reservoirs, up through the dirt, up through the floors in your home, up through whatever you're sitting on, up into the base of your spine. Breathe in, fill your lower belly with that beautiful energy. See that light filling your womb effortlessly. You know the force and the power of Mother Earth. There's nothing within you that can restrict, that can block. It's so powerful. It will just dissolve all negativity, all hurt. Just imagine it filling your womb space. Like a bowl or like a cauldron. Filling it with that red light. Filling it with that orange magma. If you like, you can place your hand on your lower belly. You can place your hand over your heart. Just receive. Now, I'd like for you to name or think of one thing that you've accomplished this year. One thing that you've worked so hard on. One thing that you wanted to bring into reality and you did. It can be something big, it can be something small. Just think of it. Think of yourself wanting this goal. Think of when you had the goal. And fill that version of you with so much love. Think of the work you would have put in for that seed, that goal to bear fruit. Breathe, don't forget to breathe deeply. In for 3 and out for 4. Thank that version of yourself. Thank yourself for the work, for the effort, for the tears, for everything that would have made that possible. Feel the gratitude in your heart. Feel it in your womb. Feel how happy you were when you succeeded at that goal. Now, think of something that you've planned, some goal that you've set for this year, something that you've worked on, hoped for, prayed for, believed in, but it did not come to pass. Can you feel the difference in your womb area? It's important for us to practice mindfulness and feeling. When we become more mindful, it becomes stronger, it becomes easier to feel. There was a point in time I could feel nothing at all, but believe me, beautiful ladies, you can. So you can feel into that hurt, that disappointment. Feel it in your belly. Feel it in your womb. You may feel the constriction. You may feel yourself wanting to close in. Breathe. Breathe into it. Thank yourself for the effort that you made. Thank yourself for the beautiful hope that you had. Hope is not something easily found, and it's not easily sustained. Thank yourself for the courage that you had for going after this goal. Know that it's not a failure. Feel that inside yourself, the disappointment, the hurt, the loss, the grief. Breathe into it. Breathe out through your mouth if you have to. Now that you can feel that area in your womb where it's located. Imagine as you breathe out that you're sending that hurt and disappointment deep into that crystal that you're still connected to inside Mother Earth. Breathe out as you see it releasing, dropping, falling effortlessly down into the center of the earth. There's nothing that you can give to Mother Earth that she can't handle. Think of her magnificence. There's nothing that you can have that she can't wonderfully and beautifully ease you of your burden with. Sending anything to the center of the earth allows for it to be transmuted into pure energy, where it can be used and utilized by those who need it the most. Release the hurt. Release the pain. Be grateful for what you've learned. Be grateful for all that it has taught you, even though it was difficult. Even though you thought you couldn't get through it. But you did. Breathe up that energy of unconditional love from the center of the earth. Let go everything that you can feel now, anything that you can feel that's still in that area. Just breathe out and release. Knowing that it's creating fertile ground, compost for new seeds, for new hope. Now, you can breathe that energy to the center of your chest. Breathe it up your spine and just at the center of your chest. Breathe into the chest area. In for a count of 3. Out for a count of 4. As you breathe, it's pulling in this energy of peace and love and gratitude for everything that's happened this year, everything that's happened in your life. Pull the air, pull the energy into the chest area. And as you breathe out, exhale out through your spine into the crystal at the center of the earth. And you can do this for as long as you like. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. Thank yourself. This stillness, this peace, this is feminine. And when you're ready, you can take 3 deep breaths. And wiggle your toes and your fingers. And rub your hands together. And place it over your face, over your eyes. Breathe deeply. Exhale. Smile. And open your eyes. So I hope that you enjoy that little meditation, that little exercise of feeling. And please, we'd love for you to let us know how you felt about it. We'd love for you to give us topics that you'd love for us to discuss more in a metaphysical sort of energy way. I would love to go into a meditation around Halloween or Samhain, where we can go deeply again into the earth. And honor our ancestors a bit. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was useful for you, and hope that we can do it again real soon. Many, many blessings. Sisters of Resilient Grace, I'm so honored to be a part of it. Thank you again. Namaste.